I earned twice my coworker's salary. Same office, same hours, same parking lot. And yet that night, I typed one question into my search bar: why people who earn less have more money. The answer was hiding in my paycheck: fixed costs, spending commitments. I'll walk you through it line by line. He was the quiet guy from logistics, a 10-year-old pickup, a modest house, zero luxury watch. I had double his salary and every visible sign of success. So I opened my accounts to reassure myself. 15 years of a big salary, and the total slapped me. He was leaving with 3 times my savings, while earning half my income. I looked for the cheat code. An inheritance? No. A hidden business? Nope. Miracle crypto? Nothing. Just an average salary, paid every month for 20 years at the exact same company as me. At his farewell party, I asked him his secret. He smiled, leaned in, and told me one sentence that ruined my week and saved my retirement. While he was smiling, I was rerunning my numbers. $110,000 a year, a good title, bonuses, steady raises. On paper, I was clearly the one winning the race. So why the knot in my stomach? My paycheck landed on the first of the month, and every month, by the third, half of it was already gone. I hadn't bought anything, signed anything, decided anything that month. So who was spending my money? $110,000 a year, and the feeling of living paycheck to paycheck. I blamed inflation, taxes, modern life. I was wrong on every single count. One night, I went through my bank statement line by line, and there it was, the first crack. I wasn't the one spending my money. Something else was spending it for me, and had been for years. Auto debit, subscription, installment, financing, gym, streaming. My statement read like a list of automatic appointments I had never canceled. Some dated back to a time when I still thought I deserved all of it. So I printed 12 months of statements, grabbed a highlighter, and closed the office door. 3 hours later, I put the highlighter down. I had just understood why I would never be rich. Before he left, I invited him to a steakhouse. I expected a penny pincher, a coupon fanatic. He ordered the best cut on the menu without even glancing at the price. He paid for his vacations in cash. I was financing my own mattress over 36 installments. Him, 0 active loans. Me, 6. So tell me, which one of us was actually the better paid? The most infuriating part? He kept no budget, ever. I was tracking every expense across 3 different apps. I worked more, earned more, monitored more, and I was falling further behind him. Between 2 bites, he dropped it. I never gave my paycheck away before I received it. I nodded politely. I understood nothing. Not yet, but it was already working on me. His car was ordinary. His house paid off. His monthly payments nearly non-existent. And on everything else, restaurants, trips, fishing, he spent freely. He wasn't depriving himself. He had simply freed himself in advance. On his way out, he asked me the question that triggered everything. You ever wonder why people who earn less have more money? Stop counting income. Then he walked out. Back home, I picked up my 12 months of statements again. 2 colors, green for present-day choices, red for commitments signed in the past. One last coffee, and I started. Page after page, the red took over everything. My monthly choices weren't choices. They had been signed 2 years ago, 5 years ago, 10 years ago, by a Richie who no longer existed. The pickup, $700 a month. The oversized mortgage, $2,400. 6 streaming subscriptions. The financed furniture. The premium phone. The ghost gym membership. Every red line screamed the exact same thing. Already promised. I added up the red lines. The monthly total exceeded his entire salary. Read that again. My commitments alone cost more than what he earned to live on. And yet he lived far better than I did. That's when I faced the truth. Every red line was past me spending present me's money. My past had mortgaged my present, methodically, installment by installment. One calculation remained, just one, the one his sentence had whispered to me at the restaurant. I call it the first dash of the month test. Try it tonight. It hurt me more than everything else combined. The first of the month test comes down to one question. The day your paycheck lands before a single purchase. What exact percentage is already promised to someone else? Count everything. Absolutely everything. My result, 91%. Before the first coffee, before groceries, before I even existed that month, 91% of my paycheck already belonged to the past. I was living on the remaining 9%. And his number? I called him. He laughed softly, then answered, "About 35%. Half my salary, but nearly two-thirds of his paycheck still. Free every month, free to be invested, for 20 years. And here, at last, is the answer to why people who earn less have more money. Wealth doesn't go to the bigger paycheck, it goes to the least promised one. Your income is a flow. Your wealth is the share of that flow that nobody has claimed." He guarded his 65% like treasure. I was handing out my 91% like cheap flyers. Understanding took me one evening, but undoing 10 long years of signed promises, that's another story. Some had penalties, some had witnesses, and the worst ones weren't written anywhere at all. I put everything in a spreadsheet. 2 columns, what each commitment cost me per month and what it would cost to get out. 23 rows. 23 promises made by a much more naive man than me. Chilling discovery. Some promises cost more to leave than to keep. Cancellation fees, early repayment penalties, resale at a loss. Well-designed traps do have doors. They lock from the inside. First move, the pickup. Sold. At a loss, yes, but those monthly $700 multiplied by the remaining years of the loan were worth a bruised ego. I replaced it with an old sedan paid in cash. Then the subscriptions. I canceled 9, and digging deeper, I found a second layer. The ones I had forgotten, services I'd been paying for years, without even knowing they still existed. Phone plan cut in half. Insurance renegotiated. Gym membership traded for a pair of running shoes. Every freed line didn't just give me dollars back, it gave me every future dollar too. But my spreadsheet didn't tell the whole story. The most expensive commitment of my life appeared on no statement. It had no monthly payment, no contract. It lived in other people's eyes. In the office parking lot, my used sedan caused a stir. The stares, the silences, the smirks. I had downgraded in everyone's eyes. Nobody could see my promised rate melting yet. Money trouble, Richie? The question came, in perfect irony, from a coworker who financed everything down to his lawnmower. That night, I almost cracked and bought it all back. The pickup, the status, the character, all of it. That's when I understood. Status is a commitment like any other, except you don't sign it with a pen. You sign it with your pride, and it renews itself automatically. Month 4, my promised rate had dropped to 60%. Same salary, same job, same boss, and yet my savings had tripled without earning one more dollar. The mechanism worked both ways. Freedom is compound interest. Every freed line funded the courage to free the next one. Every unpromised dollar finally worked. For me, instead of paying off the man I had pretended to be. Month 9. My paycheck landed on a Monday at dawn, and for the first time in my adult life, something deeply strange happened. Something I had never experienced before. Nothing happened. That was the strange thing. The money arrived, and it stayed. Nobody came for it. No ambushed auto debit. No installment lurking in the shadows. Just my paycheck. Mine. Today, 58% of my paycheck belongs to my future instead of belonging to my past. Every month, that number grows a little more. And one question has replaced all the others. How high can it go? He sent me a photo last month. Him, a Montana lake, a fishing rod, on a Tuesday morning. His sentence from the restaurant took 2 years to finish its journey. It arrived. I thought retirement was about an amount, a magic number to reach. It's not. It's a ratio. The day your paycheck owes nothing to anyone, you're free. Now, when people ask me why people who earn less have more money, I don't answer anymore. I hand them a highlighter, 12 statements, and I ask the first of the month question. Your salary decides how you look. Your unpromised paycheck decides when you'll be free. He figured it out at 30. I figured it out at 40. You just figured it out right now. Before you go, one honest question. Run the first of the month test tonight. How much of your paycheck is already promised before you spend a single dollar? If the number scares you, good. It did the same to me. Drop your percentage in the comments. I read every reply. And if this opened your eyes, wait until you see what happens the day you finally get a raise. Because more money doesn't fix this. It feeds it. That story is coming next. Subscribe so you never have to. Learn it the expensive way. I'll meet you there.